My name's Hieu Trac.
My name's McKenzie. Been working on the msdev sites for a little over the past year.
Currently working with the msdev websites for the last about 3 months. Currently hosted in a third-party hosting solution, and we're hoping to move them into the cloud using Azure.
I kind of think of a role as defining what you're putting onto a virtual machine in the cloud.
A web role is basically your website project up in the cloud.
I could have 4 web role instances, but the web role itself defines what that website looks like.
You can think of it as a zip file, packages everything up, and when you take that package, you put it up in the Window Azure portal. Servers up there figure out how to take that package and deploy it out in the cloud, and you get a URL back.
We'll be creating separate web roles for each of the 3 sites that we're moving to Windows Azure. And the great thing about a web role is it's just like your typical web application, just like creating a new site in IIS. So that transition's pretty seamless for us. One, there's been some good introductory videos on msdev.com.
Pretty good introduction to that.
Download the entire SDK and training kit.
As well as did a crash course with one of my colleagues.
The hands-on labs, which is kind of my favorite way to get through stuff. So I'll be initially moving, the partner site.
Right now I'm tasked with actually porting the entire Channel Dev website from start to finish.
And finally going back and helping move the main msdev site.
And then eventually moving the website into a web role and putting it up in Windows Azure.
The cool thing about the Azure platform is you can tell it how many instances of that role to run. If you think of my web role as my website, I can say I want you to run 2 instances of it, 4 instances of it, 10 instances of it. So I can really adjust that depending on how much traffic or load I expect.
Certain websites that we have receive more traffic. When we move the web roles, we hope to take advantage of the instance numbers that we can increase number of servers or number of instances that are serving up content for our users pretty quickly and seamlessly.
A good example of how msdev might benefit from the scalability part of the Azure platform would be that if there's some demand gen that's happening or some marketing campaign that's happening where they're going to try to push a lot of users on a certain day or time period, we can anticipate that and increase the number of role instances or web servers to support our app to handle that load. And when we think that that period of time, that peak is over, we can scale back down.
Putting something out in the cloud, I know a lot of people talk about cloud computing these days, and so just want to have done a project doing that, so it's kind of exciting from that perspective.
I'm really excited about just getting in there and getting a site up live on the cloud. I think that'll be a pretty neat experience to see that happen.